Hi, I'm Seth Connell. I recently recorded a video talking about how I got interested in postmodernist literature and how I wasn't really a big fan because I think that sometimes it can be more often than not a distraction from real world solutions. And that actually ticked off a few people. I was surprised. And the reason it ticked off a few people is they said, actually, I think it's wrong for you to say that something is true or not, because just because something is true for you doesn't make it true for me. What does that even mean? Um, I don't know what that means. You know, there aren't universal truths now. It's like, isn't it interesting? Postmodernism, the idea behind postmodernism is that, oh, there's so many nuanced worldviews and so many ways to frame things that there's no right answer to anything. There's a million potential right answers and you'll never know. It's like the people who think there are infinite truths can't even name one real truth. That's a problem. That's a real problem. And so, I think this comes from a lot of when I went to college, I think it comes from a lot of the people that would be philosophy majors in college. And I had read just as much as most of the young people there who were getting philosophy degrees. And you could tell that they were obsessed with mental frameworks that were just inherently wrong. Like the number one belief that will just destroy your ability to figure out anything is this. You know, professors will tell you that statistical correlation doesn't imply causation. It's crazy. Just because something is statistically connected doesn't actually mean it's connected. So you shouldn't believe anything just because it's statistically right. It's like, really? Two people go up to a well, they drink out of it, they both drop dead. You're going to drink out of that same well? It's like, well, that's an exception. It's like, no, it's the only one that's real life. But then you go and you listen to the exceptions that they give. Well, if you find two bodies that wash up on shore and they had both went to an ice cream shop, would you not eat ice cream just because these two people died? And I'd be like, yeah, that'd be a rational move. Isolate the problem, figure it out. But the problem is that we have a very scary institutional system that exists to perpetuate these just bad ideas. They're not even good ideas, they're just bad ideas. And it will distract you if you let it. Case in point, I'm just going to end by saying this. There's a popular YouTuber who has a following, and he talks about Thomas Pynchon and postmodernist literature. And he recently did a video where he was talking about Thomas Pynchon. He was being all nuanced and saying that truth isn't really real. And he was wearing a Ted Kaczynski t-shirt, the Unabomber. Okay? The Bible says you can judge a tree by its fruits. Why is it that every time I talk to a postmodernist guy who says there's infinite truth, they can't even find one coherent truth to believe in? And I think it's because when someone tells you that truth isn't real, it's time to see what they've been lying to you about. So that's my take. If you're interested in hearing me talk about things that are potentially interesting topics that I don't think are covered very much, follow my YouTube channel and let's have interesting discussions.